Welcome back to TYT Sports. The U.S. men's national team sucks. That's Rick. He doesn't suck. I'm Jason. I suck half the time. Man, there's only immediate and utter depression that comes from a 2018 World Cup without the United States men's national team. To be completely fair, we would have gotten absolutely trounced by any of the competition over in Europe or anybody that was coming out of South America, truthfully. But in terms of the 2-1 loss to Trinidad and Tobago, in which we do not qualify for the World Cup, even though there was about 17 other ways we could have, it just goes to show that there is still some massive problems. And I think Rick and I are in agreement here, and as Francis probably discussed in a related video, it's a lot to do with the youth soccer program. But in terms of the game itself yesterday, the match itself yesterday, aside from the highlight of Pulisic's absolutely stunning and beautiful goal from outside the box, and the fact that he also had a goal and assist and put the team on his back against Panama, correct?
I'm sorry?
They played Panama on...
No. Panama played against Costa Rica.
I know, I'm talking about the game before this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. When they won 4-0.
Take him off the team, replace him with anybody else, and we might not score goals. Rick, what did you see from the team that really made you upset?
It's like when a parent says, like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. This is the ultimate disappointment that just drains you if you're a fan of this team. You saw improvements from past World Cups. We had highs with Landon Donovan scoring a goal in extra time. We had highs even though he was crucified with Jurgen Klinsmann, mainly and the reason that he was crucified, let's just call a spade, is because the United States men's national team base, the entire board, the United States Soccer Federation rests on Major League Soccer, which we all, again, calling a spade, is not one of the best leagues in the world.
It's the worst league in the world.
I don't know about it being the worst. It might be better than, no disrespect, but like Denmark's soccer federation and the league that they have.
I thought you
Denmark.
meant in terms of the Big Five. And you know what I mean by like the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga.
No, nowhere in competition. Yeah. You go up against Trinidad and Tobago. If I hear one player talk about the pitch one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit. I don't care that the field was drained with water. You played against Costa Rica in a blizzard where it snowed like 16 inches. You can't play with just a shitty field against a shitty team that coming in lost 8 of 9, and there were maybe 1,500 people in the stands. There were more empty seats than there were fans for this team. Tim Howard, I know that he put together one of the most masterful performances in a loss that we will ever see against Belgium, which is an offensive juggernaut and super talented. It's a shame that he goes out like this, being out of position for what was the ceiling goal. Omar Gonzalez is gonna have nightmares. I don't blame him. It is systemic failure that the United States has had through the Soccer Federation ousting a manager that I thought was putting them in a well enough position, and basically he drew a line in the sand saying, look, are you for the MLS or are you for sending players to Europe? And he was the one thing, because I happen to like a lot of these people in sports. He was a glitch in the United States' system where he was fighting back against the system. And he tried bringing in great talent, and you know what? He did. He brought in Jermaine Jones. He brought in a lot more. He brought in players that would have played for other countries that happened to play for the United States and convinced them.
Yeah, I agree.
And just real quick, there's a few other points that's important. Sunil Gulati has to be out after this. He has been given way too much of a longer leash because of Jurgen Klinsmann's success. There needs to be more of an influx of talent put in to the developmental processes for a lot of these kids who want to play in order to come up through the ranks and not have to shell out 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 because they have to compete for this team and this club and this team and this club. It is systemic failure, and this will continue to happen, not missing the World Cup, but being utterly disappointed in what we view as a team that should be there and be competing every 4 years.
Undoubtedly, they should be there. Iran qualifies for the World Cup. Iceland qualifies for the World Cup. And look, all credit to Iceland, by the way, too, because they were fantastic in the Euros. So they were carrying a lot of momentum over, and
It was the Euros though. It was it was a while ago. The fact is, they were way more talented. It seems like than the United States was in the last 8 weeks.
It was 440 days ago was the Euros. It wasn't that long ago. We're in 2017. It's a
lot of days.
It's not enough that you'd say it was a long time ago. 2014 World Cup was a long time ago. So credit to Iceland for doing so much with so little, while we have so much and can't do a damn thing. You're right about the systemic youth program being absolute horseshit. It's a pile of dog shit. Dan Wetzel talked about it on Yahoo Sports today, which was brilliant because there's some other writers out there who I will not name who want to continue to blame the players, want to blame conditions, want to blame a goal, want to blame other things. Right. It's not the root issue of it's not the symptom, it's the disease, whatever the phrase is, I don't care at this point. On top of everything else, Bruce Arena was a terrible decision to be hired. I said this when it happened. Francis calmed me down because he said, again, it's not going to be on Bruce Arena altogether because you have this problem with the youth soccer. And as Rick mentioned with the U.S. Soccer Federation, this idea of backing the MLS and the rapport that Bruce Arena has with the MLS players and that everyone kind of likes him on the team, that's nice and all, but Bruce Arena has done absolute jack shit for the U.S. men's national team in the what have you done for me lately test, which is what he has done for us lately. He should be sacked. The whole thing needs to be gutted. But at the same time, Bruce Arena had the gall to say at one point that he would love for one of these European teams to get off their high horse and come over here and play in CONCACAF. Really? You would like that? Well, the only thing that would benefit from a European team coming over to play here, let's say whatever, a Belgium, or let's shoot for the top. How about Germany comes and plays here? You want to lose 10-0 on your own pitch, on your own ground, in your own country? That's fine, because the only thing that we would learn from that is, hey, that's how you actually play the game. Klinsmann was at least creative. At least he'd pull the back pocket starting 11 out and say, no, we're going to switch some of these things around and adjust. One of the things that drove me crazy
was the back line.
Always is the back line. Yeah, we don't have any defense. But my point being here is one of the things that drives me crazy is why don't you adjust to playing Trinidad and Tobago? Why do you run out the exact same starting 11, the exact same formation because it worked against one team doesn't mean it's going to work against another.
Bruce was super confident going into this game, saying that he would not change anything.
I know, he kept saying it worked perfectly last time, we're going to do it again this time, blah, 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 blah. So he's honestly turned into me the Penguin from the fucking Batman movie. So
Danny DeVito.
Yes, he's become Danny DeVito to me, just a little bit bigger. So the point being here is the only thing that should never have changed at any point during this United States men's national team run is you play Christian Pulisic in the center attacking midfielder role. Yes, that point of him getting as many touches as possible is of course the heart and soul, the nucleus of that offense. It's everything, every creation, anything that's coming out of the scoring column is going to be either created or scored by Pulisic. He's just on a different level. He's 19 years old, and truthfully, he's the greatest damn U.S. soccer player we've ever seen. No disrespect to Landon Donovan, no disrespect to Clint Dempsey. By the time this kid is 24, barring any injuries and the level that he's playing on overseas, he will have surpassed all of them. You can just do it by watching. Just watch him play.
I think you're forgetting.
The idea of the back four needs to be gutted. We need to get rid of half the players we have, and we need to start finding new youth. The problem is if Bruce Arena is still there, we'll still be running out 32-year-olds who play for the Orlando, who the fuck cares?
Soccer club.
Who the fuck cares?
Orlando SC.
The New York Red Bulls, who gives
Orlando
a shit at this point? So it's frustrating, it's upsetting, it's maddening because we are a country that should be in the World Cup.
As a soccer fan in the United States, we are like the lowest on the totem pole. Okay, because you got to compete against the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, college basketball, college football. Did I say the NHL already? If I didn't, I'll just say it again, yada, yada. So you got to compete against all these different sports respectively. The World Cup is our Olympics. Except the United States can't even qualify for the Olympics. So Sunil Gulati should be out. Bruce Arena should be out. Me personally, what do I want? I want them to get an established manager who has won with big clubs and is maybe getting overlooked right now. Someone like, there's someone actually in the United States that I think could be good. And he coached Barcelona for 1 to 2 years. That is Tata Martino, who has led Atlanta United to a really, really impressive first year. The U20 United States team is looking super impressive. You want to try out Tab Ramos? I'm fine with that too.
That's because at least they're going with the youth going forward.
There are a few other names that I'll leave off because I don't think that they're noteworthy enough. But the thing is, bring in someone who has coached Sergio Aguero. Bring someone in who has coached Lionel Messi.
Or anybody.
Bring someone who has coached Luis Suarez. Bring someone who has had to coach those players, seeing how amazing they are, and try to instill that same confidence that they put in you into these players. Because right now, what I saw from this United States team last night, they have none of it.
Correct.
None.
I would preferably, if even possible, which I know is probably not, I would love Luis Enrique to come over and coach the team. I think he'd be fantastic. He's done it at the highest
I feel
level.
like he's going to be recycled through Spain for a few years.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's not even a long shot. It's probably not even a possibility. But if you want to make a statement, you got to go after somebody who's going to at least take the 11 that you have on the pitch and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be creative with how we do it, and we are going to find a way that if we can't actually compete with the top clubs, we're going to make it damn sure look like we're trying to compete with the top clubs. Conceding 2 goals to Trinidad and Tobago, it's pathetic. And truthfully, they were right. Their coach came out yesterday and said, I hope we sent a direct message to the United States.
And they did.
And they did.